Hi, I'm Nick Shell, and if you're watching this video, it implies that you have just watched my performance of my newest song, God, Things Are Sure Getting Creepy Around Here. And if you somehow are watching this video without seeing the song, I'll make it easy for you. I'm putting the link right there. You can click on it and watch that song performance that I just recorded moments ago. So what a challenging song for me to write. I have been carrying this idea around with me for many months, waiting for the right time, and here in the dead of winter on a sunny day, it's actually Groundhog Day, very sunny but very cold day, is probably the best time and space for me to release a song like this I've been working on for the past week. So for me, as I am in my midlife crisis mode, I'm trying to come to terms with reality, which is what happens when you're at the top of Maslow's hierarchy of needs pyramid. That's where I'm at. I'm trying to sort out these things that maybe I've never really given thought to until now. I never had the time and space to do it until this time in my life, as I'm just, 2.5 months away from turning 40. This is when I have a chance to think about such things and try to sort these out. And I have written so many songs over the past year and a half, and for the most part, it's me sorting things out about my life and my perception of the world. This song specifically is my attempt as a Christian to be able to accept and try to understand how there is so much evil in the world and why God doesn't stop it. Seems like that's a fundamental solution, that here we are in this world. God could stop it at any point. He's all powerful, but he allows evil to rule. And in my progress to understand and accept that, and that's what this song ultimately is about, is it's me acknowledging that from a biblical perspective, that Satan is the ruler of this world. He's in charge of this world ultimately. The chaos that we see in this world is because he's in charge of the earth. And that sounds like it's not Christian. It sounds like this is some kind of heavy metal band from the 80s, like, worshiping Satan or whatever we were told that they were singing about. But I'm going to read through the lyrics of this song, and then I'm going to actually reference the Bible where it constantly talks about this. So here we go. The song is called God, Things Are Sure Getting Creepy Down Here. Satan is the ruler of this world. That makes me feel uncomfortable. He's the prince of the power of the air. He rules death and all of despair. God, things are sure getting creepy down here. Moving on to this song I wrote to not really have a definite chorus, and that sort of reflects a little bit of the mystery of this song, because it doesn't even end with closure. It doesn't really even have a chorus. But what comes before that part would be, in all of your power, talking to God. This song is a prayer, by the way. Maybe at the risk of sounding like heresy, it is a prayer. You wouldn't hear this song in church, because it is me questioning God and trying to understand God better on a quest to be be a man after God's own heart. I'm asking questions. And I think that you'll see this all throughout the Bible, especially in the Old Testament, especially in the Psalms, especially with a lot of the prophets. They don't understand what God's doing, but yet they're believing, and they're trying to sort that out. This is me in that spot myself. In all of your power and infinite wisdom, you could have kept us from all of this pain. Even now you could stop this, the suffering of your children. I'm lost in the logic of your ways. Specifically, when I wrote that line, the suffering of your children, two things come to mind. What we're all very aware of, what's going on in the world. Children being kidnapped and sold into slavery. Can't comprehend it. As I try to, I think God's allowing that. We're as human beings supposed to stop that. Like there's all kinds of horrible things in the world, but that, and I think, of course, I have 2 children, and I think I would do anything to protect them and keep them safe. I would keep them from any danger. But yet we are God's children, and he doesn't stop us from that. And I get it. The church answer is that God allows us to go through certain things so that we strengthen our faith in him. But I struggle with that. And actually, that line right there, I'm lost in the logic of your ways. The Bible talks about how we don't have God's understanding. His ways are higher than ours. Yeah, I guess so, because I can't fathom this. Moving on to the second verse, we're all trapped in a fallen world until judgment day runs its course. You, talking to God, you are the Prince of Peace, the great I am. So how is this your perfect plan? God, things are sure getting creepy down here. So for that verse, I wanted to fully recognize the Christian fundamental concept that we are born sinners. We're not good people. We're already born sinners, and we have to trust in Jesus' sacrifice of his life so that we can be saved. But again, I'm lost in that logic, because if I had a choice in the matter, I would rather be born without free will and just not know any better and just worship God and live in paradise. I would rather have that version. And I have it pretty good in life. Most people who've ever lived have had it really rough, including most people on the planet right now. If there was a lottery, I would have won the life lottery. And actually, I'm planning to write a song about that too. But more to that when we get to that song. The last part of the song, which you could sort of treat as a bridge of sorts. I'll be down here if you need me, in a reality where nothing comes easy. God, things are sure getting creepy down here. And of course, talking about here on this fallen earth where Satan is the ruler of the world. Me trying to sort all of that out. Now this song, as I wrote it, again, it doesn't have a definite chorus necessarily. Where a chorus would be, I'm doing a falsetto. Doing something like that. And then I'm just playing empty bars of no vocalization at all. And the concept there is, that's the blanks. That is a place for God to reveal to me some sort of understanding if I can receive it. That's me listening for God to help me understand my way through this. Again, if that can even be granted to me. So there you go. A very deep song, very philosophical. But I think any Christian who's being honest with themselves is going to have to wonder that how could God allow such horrible things if we're his children that he loves? And ultimately, again, the church answer is he allows it to bring glory to himself. And I can tell you for a fact, my belief in God is because of how God has been faithful to me and my family and my own life. But I don't understand, and I'm probably just not going to understand. I've even written another song on this channel called I Still Believe, talking about all my doubts. And I basically am the modern day doubting Thomas. I'm like the most agnostic Christian I know. And I say that sort of as a joke. I don't actually mean I'm agnostic. But I got to the point in my faith a year or so ago where I had to say, this is faith. This is me choosing to believe. And even if I'm wrong, I know that God's ways are best. I know that the teachings in the Bible have led to my life being better than it would have otherwise. And so have I observed with people who've done the same. So even if I'm wrong, I still choose to believe. And that's where I'm at with my faith. It's a scary thing to say out loud and to process that. And as I do, it brings me to thoughts like this. I want to close though with me reading the biblical references of this. Because again, Satan is the ruler of the world. That's how it is going on right now, and that's why we're living in the fallen world as the Bible teaches. So John chapter 12:31, now is the judgment of this world. How will the ruler of the world be cast out? Satan. John 14:30, I will no longer talk much with you, for the ruler of this world is coming. He has no claim on me. That's Jesus talking about Satan. Next, John 16:11, concerning judgment, because the ruler of this world is judged. Talking about Satan. Hebrews 2:14, that through death he might destroy the one who has the power of death, that is, the devil. Because one of the opening lines in the song talks about how Satan is, the ruler of death. 2 Corinthians 4:4, it refers to Satan as the god of this world, saying, the God of this world has blinded the minds of unbelievers so that they cannot see the light of the gospel of the glory of Christ. John 8:44, you are of your father the devil. He was referring to a person, but saying, your father the devil. So that's another reference of that. So those are some verses there. And of course, Luke chapter 4, you can read that. That's about it, talking about Jesus going through the temptation when he's out in the wilderness, and Satan takes him to these 3 points to test him, to see if he will basically say to Satan, you are God, and Jesus refuses to do it. But ultimately, Satan did that because he had the power to, as the prince of this world, to allow Jesus right then to become the ruler of this world and not die on the cross for the sins of humanity. So it's interesting when you look at that, but that's actually what that's saying. Again, it's in Luke chapter 4. You can check it out. So there you go. A very deep philosophical song. I'm sorting out as a Christian on my journey, trying to sort this out, because for me as a father, I would not want my children to suffer. Yet God allows this for his glory. I'm lost in that logic. This is important that I wrote this song, because I think this is what I needed in my life to grow stronger in knowing who God is and how he loves me, even if, again, I'm confused by it. Your comments are right here.